Hi, you're here on Just Maria D. It is indeed Maria D. I'm running a day late with my Vlogust as per usual. The 13th of August for me has been a hard day to vlog about because I have wanted to deal with a very specific thing that affects 1 in 4 women. The 13th of August was the day I had my first miscarriage. So that's what I want to talk about today. In lots of ways, it has felt like Anthony, my husband, and I have grown up together, not because we knew each other in childhood, but because we crossed over into that childhood to adult world together. The year of our 21st birthdays, we had become boyfriend and girlfriend, gotten pregnant, gotten married, bought a house, and had our firstborn. It was a big year, and we had to do loads of growing up. It was a hard year, finishing university while pregnant, and dealing with a wedding and buying a house was quite exhausting. But there was no doubt that our son Josh was the apple of our eye, and we wouldn't have had it any other way. It's funny because I think in lots of ways getting through that period of my life made me feel a little bit invincible, I think, because it was an emotional roller coaster. There is absolutely no doubt about that. And so when we decided to fall pregnant with number 2, and that happened really easily, I think I just thought that miscarriage just wouldn't be a part of my life. It hadn't even really occurred to me. When we fell pregnant the 3rd time around, I knew straight away that I was pregnant. I'm just one of those people that the minute I'm pregnant, I know that I'm pregnant because my body lets me know. We were really thrilled to be having 2 close together because it'd been a 2-year, 9-month age gap between Joshua and Kiana. But it wasn't long before my body let me know that I didn't feel pregnant anymore. And I went to the doctor and I said that this is how I was feeling, and they fobbed me off. Women have quite good intuition about these things, I think. I don't think that anything would have changed had they have listened to me. I think that the inevitable had already happened. I can remember reading a baby book at the time and turning to a page on miscarriage and just reading through it and just having this overwhelming sense that I knew that was about to happen to me. And sure enough, within the next couple of days, I began to miscarry. I think it was a really difficult time because Anthony and I have very different ways of dealing with these kinds of things, and for me it was something that was far more tangible because it was happening to my body, and it wasn't such a tangible experience for him. So in lots of ways it felt like quite a lonely time. I remember at the time doing a lot of reading about the statistics of miscarriage. The statistics in the UK today are that 1 in 6 known about pregnancies end in miscarriage. 1 in 4 pregnancies in general end in miscarriage. And 3 out of 4 of those pregnancies end in the first trimester. So while I felt lonely in some regards, there was some bizarre comfort that came from not being so alone in that experience. One of the most important thing that happened for me at that time was that I had some older women in the church that I had been going to reach out to me, and these were women that by and large I hadn't had an awful lot to do with, and certainly not on a personal level, but they took the time to ring me and share their story with me. I will never forget particularly one woman who took the time to share her story with me. She'd have been in her 50s at that point, and I felt incredibly honoured that she reached out, and she did that because of how alone I was feeling at that time. But just by speaking about those things and sharing their stories and their pain, that it normalized what I was feeling. Because I think what happens is that we get told that we should feel things in particular ways, or So if we don't feel something, then we feel guilty. And then if we do feel something, we feel guilty. I think that there's a lot of guilt around miscarriage for women that sometimes isn't spoken about. There's a sense sometimes of failure, guilt for feeling too much or not feeling enough. It's a very tricky emotional time because everybody experiences it so differently. So to have those women reach out to me at that time was amazing. And my tears are more about the connection and the bravery and the courage, and that those women actually did reach out to me at that time and share their stories with me. Now, I don't remember ever having any other personal conversations with them about their lives or their stories ever again after that moment. It really was just connection at the point of hurt and at the point of loneliness and when I needed it most. And so I think for me, the reason why I wanted to look back and talk about it isn't so much for the sense of loss of a child that I don't have and I didn't have, but because of what I did gain out of that experience, and that is the importance of women sharing their stories and normalizing the emotion, normalizing the fear, normalizing the guilt and all the other emotions that go along with miscarriage. Because what they gave me at that time was a gift. In just reaching out and having an honest conversation with me and allowing me to have an honest conversation with them and connecting over that. So yeah, that's really why I wanted to talk about it today, to encourage us as women to talk about these things and to make sure that those around us are okay to talk if they want to, and that we are okay to listen, but to also know that people perhaps do handle it differently. Anthony and I certainly did, but that doesn't mean to say that different is wrong. It's just different. And we need to give each other permission to experience our emotions and our journeys differently and try and find empathy and connection in that as well. Anyway, I have been Maria. This has been part of my story, and you have been awesome. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.